Are you tired of poor dice play at the gaming table? Do you feel bad letting your friends down with weak rolls? Does your gaming life always feel like a critical miss? Your RPG experience doesn't have to be this way. Take the first step on the road to recovery at fanrolldice.com. At fanrolldice.com, you will find all the gaming accessories you need. Unique, well-crafted dice and accessories are there to elevate your gaming needs. The Rancor's Brothel is here to help. Use promo code RBP10 at checkout to receive 10% off any order. Go from zero to hero in your gaming group at fanrolldice.com and save yourself 10% using code RBP10. A better gaming experience awaits you. Don't delay. Order today. Warning. This game's setting revolves around an active Middle East combat zone and contains references to extreme violence, graphic content, and other mature themes. Listener discretion is advised.
The Rancor's Brothel presents.
Want some whiskey in your water, sugar in your tea? What's all these crazy questions they're asking me? The craziest body that could ever be. Don't turn on the lights 'cause I don't wanna see. Mama told me not to come. That ain't the way to have fun.
Iconoclasts, a campaign of horrors modern and ancient.
Open up the window, let some air into this room. I think I'm almost choking from the smell of stale perfume and the cigarette you're smoking. Don't scare me half to death. Open up the window, let me catch my breath. Mama told me not to come.
I'm moving on in the day, then, unless anybody has any sort of things. So we're moving later in the day.
Well, I'm trying to figure out a contractor cover for a medic. I mean,
Humanitarian aid would be an obvious one.
What's that?
Humanitarian aid.
Some NGO like
Doctors
World
Without Borders, like I
Food
said
or-
to him earlier.
Coroner.
Coroner.
Lots of dead bodies.
Yeah.
Undertaker.
I mean, and that's the thing. You could be a fucking astrophysicist
Right.
too.
That's
You
true.
could be a pharmaceutical rep. The only thing you know how to administer is morphine, but nobody knows that.
In high doses.
That morphine could be anything.
Opium.
You got a problem? Morphine. Feel a little down today? Morphine.
This is starting to sound like Florida.
Having a sucking wound? Morphine.
Missing a limb. Morphine.
What are the robots from Fallout? It's starting to sound like was it Syntech? Was the name of the company?
Robotron? Robco.
Yeah.
Robco, yeah.
Yeah. It's just like the robot salesman of their own stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, oh.
Okay, so today you guys are going to Baghdad.
They're on their way.
Jennifer and Kazim, yep. Baghdad.
What else are we going to have everybody doing?
let's talk about how I honestly think having that on the ground intel is really, really important. We need to move the shit along with the Kurds. I think we need to sweeten the pot, and I honestly don't think we need to throw down that much money to sweeten the pot.
Yeah, I'd say
in
start with
non-sequential $100 bills, I think we can throw down 10 grand and really get shit moving.
I was I'd say
10
5
or less, yeah.
5 or 10, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking to sweeten the pot for like just random local dudes. We're not trying to sweeten the pot for the
10
entire
is too much.
organization. We're looking for just for
Dude, I bet with for just random local dudes for
$500 bucks. Throw $500 bucks.
$500, yeah.
And
we really need to talk to your superior. I can. My
Landry
superior
wants to do that, yeah.
Yeah, and the way I'm going to phrase it is like I'm going to come at him like come at him like another grunt and say like my superior
No, if we get
really
if we
needs
get
this
to that
to
point,
happen.
we can role play if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like we should role play in the role playing game. If you want to do that, Landry can go talk to his contact. What's your contact's name? You can do some of the work here. I don't have to do all of it.
Hassim.
Perfect. So Landry rolls up on Hassim. Monsieur Mr. Landry, it's nice to see you again. He says, probably in Arabic, I would imagine.
Yeah, and Nasser does speak Arabic.
Yeah, you should. It's good to see you again. A drink, perhaps.
Inshallah, yes. Me too, my friend.
He orders a couple of drinks.
Yeah, just let it happen. Just let it happen.
I'm like,
Spencer's like, fucking yes and, you bitch.
it's like, you're role playing the religious aspect of this game very poorly.
So yeah, especially if they're drinking.
That's the whole point of it. Like, that's why my face. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
I don't know that works.
Yes, what can I do for you?
So my superiors really need to move along some of the things we were talking about last night.
Yes, you are interested in speaking to someone in the leadership of the Peshmerga.
Yes,
Of course.
They are so interested that, and then I'll kind of give them a jovial wink, like buddy. I got this for you, friend. And I pull out $500. Well, no, wait. Let me say that again. I nonchalant. I'm not like fanning it out like $500.
I got 10 grand, and I'm only going to give you 5.
Yeah, right.
He's like going,
Start
1,
counting.
2, 3, 4, 5. I give you 1.
But I very subtly show him that I have something in my hand, and I just kind of go to like shake his hand, and I just kind of hold it and say, I got this for you to hopefully make this process go a little bit faster.
Oh, that's very, very generous of you. I see your need is great then, yes?
Well, my need. What is my need? It's my boss's need, you know.
Fair enough. Yes, I understand. We are all slaves to other masters.
Yes, slaves to other masters.
Here, let me, and he sort of like crinkles it in his fingers. Let me buy you another drink. Let me make let me make a phone call.
Yeah.
And he walks away. We'll cut
brother.
from that scene. He's buying you another beer and walking over and having a call on a cell phone. Presumably Spencer is alone and no one else is with him, but we're going to go with that. And Landry's all alone. We'll cut somewhere else.
Like we established earlier, Al Rabini is just like constantly updating or like reloading social media sites. Like he's looking for anything that's going to be leaking out of the local territory of like, even if it's propaganda, like what's going on.
Anybody else?
The medic was going to go train.
Okay, so the medic is going to train for
Human.
Okay. Let me add a note here. I shouldn't drink this much Glenlivet and try and spreadsheet.
Alcohol and cells do not mix
We need a PSA.
in any form or fashion.
The more you know.
What's the character's name?
Alcohol and spreadsheeting, alcohol and Allah.
Staff Sergeant.
Yeah, I was gonna-
Staff Sergeant Jamie Warner.
So Warner begins to train in human. Let's roleplay that a little bit. What training is he actually doing?
What?
I just see somebody standing there with pictures of different emotions. What emotion is this? Confused.
Emojis.
Yeah.
She sent you.
Yeah, on a military base, I don't know
signs,
how that would work, but
You're probably not training on the base.
he is
We're not training with base personnel.
right. He's probably hanging out with some of the Peshmerga, trying to get in with the people, get a better understanding of the language, get a better understanding of how the culture works and everything like that.
Perfect. So
Body
Warner
language.
gets set aside until April 14th.
Okay.
Anybody else? No whammies. Back.
I would think that Pashkev would be like Captain Dan's looking around because we've already briefly discussed this idea of a potential insertion and bringing stuff back. So he'd be looking into like what available transports do we have on site.
Do you how would you like to leverage that from a mechanical perspective?
What can you just be walking around base and like categorizing what's
Sure.
on base?
Yeah. I mean, you're in Kirkuk, so I mean, it's folks are flying in. It obviously is there's an airport there, so folks are flying in all the time. time, it's fairly busy. It's a question of, are you trying to strike up a conversation? Are you trying to report back? Are you trying to contact sources? Are you trying to make something random happen?
No, I think he's literally like categorically walking around. Are there any deuce and a halves that look like they've been sitting for a long time? Like, is there any type of vehicle that looks like it's not being used? Is there a parking lot of
Are you looking
military
for
vehicles?
personnel, or are you looking for...
I'm just looking at potential, like, hey, nobody's using this. Can we grab this?
Go to the mechanics.
Yeah.
You could probably find out what's in process of being refurbed or whatever.
Maybe this isn't the guy to be doing it, but like, I'm just trying to make him useful.
No, for sure. Okay.
Like maybe a military science land roll to recognize vehicles that are on base that would be useful in the extraction of clay tablets.
Well, there's that, and we've also got to be able to figure out how to finagle getting them.
Yeah, let's find out if they're there first, or if we have to requisition them from somewhere else.
I mean, just... Okay, we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Let me think about that.
Just a thought.
Yeah, no, sure. We'll come back to Hastings. Your Googling of the Elder sign. It
Yes.
quickly becomes a goddamn rabbit hole on JSTOR, Google, whatever bullshit fucking, new agey shit you go in. It's fucking insane. Like, it's like the Ars Goetia or fucking Golden Dawn, or like everywhere you go, some asshole with a website tells you what to do.
This weird French book keeps popping up.
Yeah, lots of weird books. None of them, like, everything's kind of in the ballpark, but not it, and that's very concerning. Your success is like, a lot of this might be bullshit, and so do you really want to trust it?
Right.
So, like, thinking about that, it's so that your solid points of understanding would be Rassam, would be Sloan, and would be the program. So you could branch out and search a whole bunch of shit and may or may not get it, but these three individuals know this and know what it means. Your best tactic is probably to follow one of those. Now, they all obviously have their benefits and negatives.
How about we start with Gwen?
You can start with Gwen if you want. Is that where
Gwen
you
is the handler, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's where I would start.
Okay. Let's talk about that.
Got any plans for old Olson over there?
I'm torn between two directions for
Well, let's fill some.
Sloan, which seems like a solid lead to go extract information from him, or the refugee camps coming out of Mosul to try to get leads on the incidents.
I think the latter, because he's already talking this. Gwen is the one who's our handler, who's going to be near Sloan.
Do you want to? Would you like to? Jeff is
Being old.
What is Hastings making this inquiry?
Yes.
What is Hastings' persuade roll?
Hastings' persuade roll is 40.
So you call Gwen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This hypergeometry object that you gave us.
Yes.
This is a weapon that we are going to need to use.
Is this a secure line?
I'm assuming it would be.
Please continue.
I need to know how to use it.
Satellite phones we got, right?
No.
Why do you need to know how to use it?
Because you want us to use it.
Fair enough. Roll persuade.
Fuck!
For the folks at
I am
home,
good at that.
that is a 99.
hey, don't feel bad. Jennifer tanked too, so.
No, that's a crit fail. You just rolled 100.
Okay.
Now he rolled pretty poorly. I wrote it down.
Oh, did he?
Gwen hangs up. Gonna have to find another route.
Okay.
Maybe Mary needs to go talk to Sloan after all.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anything else?
God damn.
Jeff, this is just the universe's handicap for how smart you are.
Right?
Yep.
Over and over and over and over. And
I have rolled a lot of crit fails.
Not just in this game.
Not just in this game. Like last week, I kept rolling crit fails.
You really, when you fuck up like supremely. And
Yeah.
I love it. Like,
I just
you
heard
rolling.
something about a nuclear thing, or
Yeah, 100%.
Well, that was in a series of 3 straight deaths in back-to-back games
Yeah.
Yeah.
over a 3-week period.
Over 3
I died in 3 different games in 3 different systems within a month.
Amazing.
One was on my birthday.
And I think the best
The
part
other 2 were by your son.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That was the best part. Your son was here because you didn't have anywhere else for him to go. And I had him roll, and he's the one who killed you.
That's amazing.
So anyway, that gets
That's why
shut
he doesn't
down.
get to come anymore.
Stop rolling the fucking crit fails.
We'll go back to Landry.
At least he made that part fun.
Hasim, I believe is the name you gave your contact. He comes back over after a little time and says, I've spoken to some folks.
Character death that he said he was looking for today.
And we would be some folks in the Peshmerga. They would be very interested in speaking with you. Could we perhaps? Would you be available tomorrow?
Of course.
If you'd like to meet me here, we could take a little drive, and I'd be happy to introduce you to some of my comrades.
That's fantastic,
Go get it,
friend.
Leroy.
Thank you. Thank you much. I am the bottom of the food chain. Do you mind if I bring some others?
You may bring one friend. I think that would be acceptable.
Who wants to die with me?
So I say, I don't know how Iraq does it, but I know how these drives go in Chicago. You know, they ain't going to end well.
Thank you, friend.
Of course.
Cheers.
Yeah, no, he'll happily sit and drink with you as long as you want to drink and
Yeah,
talk
I'll
about
drink
whatever.
Yeah.
The courageous plight of the Peshmerga and the Kurds and their territorial disputes, and yeah, happy to chat. Advancing to the 8th. Okay.
So
Time moves
should he? I'm fine with him going alone. I think.
Yeah, if you're going to die, you're going to die by yourself.
Yeah. How disposable is he?
I mean, he's not.
These resources are too valuable, man.
He's not
All of them. Yeah.
What'd you say?
He's not really
No one is.
disposable.
But he's got, oh, hey, can I make a human roll?
Sure.
It's either I forget to roll dice sometimes and ask to roll dice.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Thank you for reminding me to check that.
He's drunk.
Hey, you could ticket. You might be able to up it next session.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, buddy.
Can't up a
Unless
dead
you're
character
dead.
sheet.
I really wanted to pass that. That would have been nice.
He seems totally trustworthy, Spencer. 100%.
Let us know how the desert looks.
After you've been stripped naked in the noonday sun and thrown in the middle of nowhere.
He's a Muslim drinking alcohol. He doesn't follow any of this shit.
You've been talking to the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh the whole time. Speaking of, holy shit, I keep listening to the Laundry Files. I'm on like the 5th book now.
Oh, really?
Very good.
I'm only through the first 2. Or-
They're so good.
They really are.
They're so good.
Well, that was from Masks, right?
Yeah.
Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh.
Well, I mean, it's a Lovecraft thing, but yes.
Yeah.
As I've been listening to the Laundry Files, which is an excellent book series, you can tell that it's a pop culture nerdy take on existential horror and Lovecraftian mythos.
Yeah.
And it keeps doing shout outs to like fucking oh god, what's it called?
Reference.
Baldur's Gate and like references. Oh,
There's one short. Normally the books are like a story or two. The last one I read was 90% one story and then 10% a short story that was all about a custom realm in Neverwinter Nights.
Neverwinter Nights. That's what it was, not Baldur's Gate. There are shout outs
So
to
fucking
like
good.
Delta Green.
Yeah.
Like it's a very nerdy IT guy who works for a British company that's kind of like MI5, but it investigates like all this sort of like creepy Cthulhu-y shit. There are shout outs to Delta Green in it, actually. He says it a couple times DG. And I'm like, I know what you're talking about because DG has quoted the Laundry Files, so it's very good. It's quite good.
He's an IT guy, but he specializes in hyper hyper geometry.
Correct.
He knows how to build wards, and he knows how to
He's
whatever.
like a geomancer.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's also incredibly what do I want to say? Like office politics.
Yeah.
So it's like he has to deal with like fucking HR, which
And
really
expense
suits my mood.
reports. And
Yes,
yeah.
it is. It's like
That's very IT. That's half my job.
God damn it,
actually,
Chandra,
so-
you can't talk to customers like that.
it's 100% like fuck. The zombies blew up my rental car. How am I going to pay for that?
How long it takes to fill out the expense reports for this shit.
I'm a government employee. I don't make enough for this. Like, it's 1,000% that.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah, man, it's really good. The one I'm on now, he's actually running a crew. It's the first one where he's written in the third person. So you're not getting Bob Howard. You're getting other people told
Okay.
from the third person. The Apocalypse Codex is what it's called.
I just did Jennifer Morgue.
So you did the James Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is all a
Is
James
that what got you on the James Bond kick?
I've always been on a James Bond kick. Like, I love James Bond as a character. So what's great is I grew up enjoying James Bond. I fell in love with GoldenEye because obviously I was a kid when that movie came out. Obviously, you have GoldenEye, the game, which I got when I got my N64, which led me to the VHS rentals from fucking the library, you know? So I've always been a James Bond
Which
guy.
led to his BDSM
So,
enjoyment, mainly because of Xenia Onatopp.
Red Key Elementary Library, they got the spy equipment book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
you remember that where it listed all the James Bond equipment? I had my name in that book like 7 times, I think, from checking it out.
100%.
From trying to recreate the items.
Maybe. I did have a briefcase that I pilfered and turned into my spy case.
But then you go to college, and then I had a whole college film course on how xenophobic and culturally appropriating James Bond is. So I got a whole other appreciation for the films and how jingoistic they are. So now I have a love-hate relationship with it. Like, they're excellent films, but they're also British propaganda, and that makes them really, really great in a very awful way.
Yep.
And I think that author recognizes that to a degree. Very good. Jennifer Morgue, very good.
It was.
Not as good as the fourth book. The fourth book might be my favorite.
I'll have to keep getting them.
They're so good.
Down
Anyway,
on a farm. I'm looking them up right now. Ecoid.
The Laundry Files.
Yeah.
The first book is called
The Atrocity Archives.
The Atrocity Archives. Yeah.
And Concrete Jungle, Jennifer Morgue, Down on the Farm, Ecoid.
Oh, because you're looking at them in individual. A lot of those are paired together.
Oh,
So the
okay.
Atrocity Archives is both the Atrocity Archives and whatever the second one you
The
said.
Concrete Jungle. Okay,
Yeah,
I wonder
that's
why they
one
had the
book.
same cover. Okay.
The Concrete Jungle was fucking great.
The Concrete Jungle is a great fucking short story.
It's about applying magic through technology, and it's beautiful.
They are one and the same.
Yep.
Applying a Hydra's stare through surveillance cameras.
Correct. They learn how fucking Medusa works, and they decide to use it through cameras. And that's the reason why so many cameras exist in the UK as traffic cameras, because when Case Nightmare Green, which is their code name for it is, which is when Cthulhu rises and everything goes to shit, they have cameras everywhere to use Medusa glares to fucking turn their enemies into 70% carbon or whatever, which of course, turns them into fucking whatever. Brilliant series.
Yes.
Anyway, on to the 8th. April 8th.
So Hastings is free now.
Hastings is free. The call did not go well.
Yes,
Yeah, it lasted all about 30 seconds.
it did.
Subsequent calls would not necessarily go well. You may want to find another agent.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, he gave it to you, but he sure as fuck wasn't as willing to tell you
What it was.
yes. And you kind of solidified that.
Yep. Who was going to go to Sloan?
I could send Mary. She's free today.
Okay.
Because that's probably going to take, what would we say from...
It was an 8-hour flight or something like
Yeah, so I mean, like, it's going to be a day and change to do so.
that. Back to Germany, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Jennifer and Kazim, right? Should be arriving in Baghdad today.
Correct. We'll deal with that today.
Okay.
If nothing else, I'll go to that first.
Unless you've got any information for Al Rabini and his monitoring of communications.
What is the date?
Correct.
Make a roll call over or under.
I'm going to call under since everybody seems to be rolling high.
Okay.
I rolled a 14.
51.
On April 6th, the Peshmerga and other tribal forces join the Iraqi army fighting in Al Nasir. That's on the 6th. Overnight, on the 7th, a bridge over the Tigris River is destroyed in an airstrike, which cuts off a valuable supply line to Mosul. That's what your monitoring gets you. I don't know why I close that. I still need some information. You guys are all over the place, so like I vaguely reading this one.
What we're hearing out of Mosul is that it's getting hammered by airstrikes. We haven't heard about any more incidents coming from it.
We did, but nothing in the last like 48 hours.
Yeah.
We'll jump to midday with Jennifer and Kasim approaching the University of Baghdad.
Before we enter, we should discuss specifics. What specifically are we saying we're going for, and what are our
I think we're interested in anybody that has association with Rassam here.
Mm-hmm.
Any information on the winds of Adad?
Yep.
What was the language that the writing on the
Is it
Akkadian.
Akkadian? So anything pertaining to Akkadian language or translation here? Anything else?
No, that's amazing. That's great.
If you guys can get records of what the tablets look like, you can bring them back and Hastings can go over them since she speaks it.
Yeah, especially if you can get digital copies.
Yep.
Or images, because there should be some there.
Yep,
That's your plan?
that's a plan.
Okay.
Copies of the microfiche.
You
Please let me hide it in my shoe.
You are escorted to the Iraq Museum, which is in Baghdad. Baghdad is still not put together. Obviously, they've seen a lot of war in the last decade. There's still rubble in the streets in places. It's passable, it's usable, but not everything is clearly put together.
Decade.
Broadly
30
speaking.
years going on at this point, right?
I mean,
It takes a long time to pick up the rubble from a 3-story building.
especially if the assholes who want you to pick it up keep changing.
And it continues to get blown up over the next 25 years.
You present your credentials as academics. You are met by an individual. They said, yes, we'll get you someone to show you around. His name is Hamoud. And Hamoud introduces himself, a young, Middle Eastern man in his, late 20s. Yes. I'm here to help you show whatever I can. Welcome to the Iraq Museum. I apologize. It is not as we would like it, shall I say.
I think we can appreciate that it's just still standing.
Yes, that is. Given that where it started, that where we're at, standing is a good thing, he says, sort of giving you a knowing look.
So we're following up with some correspondence from a colleague.
Oh, okay.
We're interested in anything that the museum might have to offer pertaining to the Akkadian language or translation.
Okay. He sort of nods in a very vague look.
Our colleague, and I give him Razam's title,
Oh, yes.
was doing some research on the winds of Azad, and we were looking to have some more information about it.
Are you familiar with this particular museum, either of you?
It's my first time being here.
Of course. The Iraq Museum here in Baghdad, I believe, in Baghdad, has held many clay tablets, urns, etc. Excavated from Nineveh, excavated from all over the Middle East, from antiquity to through World War II. The issue, of course, is that in the early 2000s, he sort of looks at you knowingly. I'd allow a human.
The Gulf War.
Yeah, no, you get the sense that he's analyzing.
Which
Got it.
Okay, good, because I only got 10%. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, no, wrong person. Okay, let me roll it. Got it, 60 under 70.
Always roll anyway when offered, because if you fail, you can tick it.
He says the word hostilities, and he's saying it very lightly. But yes, with the Second Iraq War, there was a massive run on the antiquities themselves in April of 2003. Since then, there's been a global effort to catalog and return up to 15,000 cataloged items that were removed. The museum itself is cosmetically repaired, but the state of the collection is actually incredibly poor. And this, again, I list this for historical impact because I think that's important. 2/3 of the 15,000 stolen artifacts had been tracked down by FBI, UNESCO, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, and U.S. Immigration and Customs.
U.S. military souvenirs.
Personnel and budget constraints have prevented much of the work from being done on items that are not on for public display. This includes the vast majority of thousands of tablets in the collection. Much of the information attached to each tablet was lost during the looting. The Iraqis and visiting academics, which he's very hopeful the two of you would be, are working to go through these and other artifacts to reclassify them and match them to the previous records and maybe even digitize them. I will allow you two, archaeology, which I don't think either of you have. Well, maybe you do. You definitely don't.
Nope.
Bureaucracy or persuade.
I'll take the persuade.
I'll take the bureaucracy. Hey, got it.
That is a 4 under 70.
Okay.
Are you telling me that instead of just blowing up our enemies, we steal from them too?
Yes, we do. Where the fuck is, oh God, what's the comedian's name? The dry British comedian who talks about the
Ricky
British
Gervais?
music. No. A newer, younger, tall, lean.
Oh,
Can you give his name? It's like, you know what? We have these people come over and they look at the British Museum and they go, that used to be ours. And we say, no, it's not. And you know what? It cost you $5 to see it. And they're like, we'd like to have it back. Fuck off. God, what is his name? He was on Taskmaster. I like him a lot. He's got great comedy.
You know, I have meant to go back and watch more of that show.
They have started uploading every episode to YouTube.
Yeah.
They didn't for a while, but now I think every episode is on there. Real good show.
Oh, sorry, what's it called again? I'm creating a list.
you're not talking about Greg Davies, though, right?
No. Taskmaster.
Yeah.
It is a British show hosted by Greg Davies. It's very clever. You and Ashley would love it.
Well, there are 47 comedians who've been on Taskmaster.
He's a blonde guy, young.
Josh Whitcomb,
No, he was on a later season.
not Alex Horn,
Nope, Alex Horn is one of the hosts.
not Noel Fielding.
No, later. Much later. Noah Felding is...
I'm just trying to find the blonde dudes.
Noel Fielding, isn't that the guy from Great British Bake Off?
Possibly.
Maybe.
He's kind of a weird metrosexual dude.
Yeah.
Says things funnily.
Did you already
Sounds
say
like his type of
James?
show.
James looks young.
James Acaster. That's his name.
James Acaster.
Yeah, James Acaster has a bit about the British Museum. He's like, and you know what?
Oh.
We make him pay £5 to go
Yeah.
see the stuff that we stole in the boat. It's brilliant. So, here we go. You guys ready for this? You have access to the archives.
Sweet.
There are 3 clay tablets in there. None of them in Akkadian.
No. Would either of you like to roll archaeology?
I literally have a 0.
Yeah, me too.
Would either of you like to roll Akkadian?
How many clay tablets are in the archives?
He allows you to take a look at them.
What languages do you know?
Arabic, Farsi, Kurdish.
Arabic, Farsi, Hebrew, Turkish, Greek, Latin.
There's only one person in the game who knows Akkadian.
I understand that, but can you take pictures of the shit that you guys can't fucking read?
That's why I want to know how many clay tablets there are.
Yeah. Because we're going.
So here's the problem that Rassam has. He knows some of these clay tablets are winds unknown to Adad. He doesn't know which ones they are.
We should call the academic who's no longer busy.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, we have sat phones.
Let's get him on the line.
I don't know. Yeah, that's fine.
Just thought.
Can you video call over a sat phone? I assume you can.
No.
You can. You might lose the video, but you can.
Long story short,
Y'all got Wi-Fi in this here museum?
Susan, you would
do a Google me.
you would need to be there.
Okay.
Most of this is in Akkadian. The people in the museum clearly don't know what the fuck they have. You would need to identify and verify. They have
hundreds of tablets in Akkadian. It would take you days to locate and confirm that you're actually reading Winds Unknown to Adad, let alone...
We could just take pictures of, if it's hundreds, that's fine.
We could. I would ask, though, if there's no specialists here that actually can read Akkadian.
There are, let's say there are some.
Okay.
Okay, we can hopefully...
Because we have the part of the poem, right?
In Discord, there's an entire document specifically for Winds Unknown to Adad.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if you're looking for that, you could find it on that.
Right. So we could give them some text to look for. And
I don't know if it's actual text.
So Hastings should head that way.
you
Right?
think so?
I think so.
Okay. I mean, it's a...
Well, I mean, we verified that there are some here.
It would, at the very least, speed up the process of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of her covers is actually a curator for a museum. So,
But I was also interested because Rassam was a frequent patron of this museum. If anyone here knows him.
Yes. That's a really good point. We have time to do other things now while we wait.
Luck roll. So you call over or under.
Oh, okay. We're going to go over.
So roll 51 or above.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
no, we want whammies on this one.
I whammied.
Sorry. No, you're good. Okay, so in that case...
He's rolling the opposite of you. He's basically rolled odds for like his last 3 rolls.
Yeah.
So Hastings is headed to Baghdad.
Correct.
All right. Okay. Other things that we need to take care of, unless anybody has any suggestions, move on.
This is on the 7th, right?
8th.
Eighth. Today's the 8th.
Today is the 8th, yes. Okay. If nobody else has anything for the 8th,
Mary's heading to Germany. Jennifer's
okay, so
in.
Mary is going to head to Germany.
I think we determined after the phone call went dry.
I'm just making sure that
Yeah.
that's what we're doing.
Yep. Speak with Sloan.
I'm enjoying this
Calling
game.
on that, or are you just showing up? Just curious.
Good question.
Well, I mean, he is detained, so I imagine I'll have to call someone.
Hey, man, are you going to ask permission, or are you going to ask for forgiveness?
I'd probably talk with the major, or no, who was it at the base?
Colonel Gwynn?
Colonel, yeah, Colonel that briefed us.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That is
No, he's a dick, I know, but
No, he
but-
failed that major
Yeah,
roll that got him
I
hung up
just
on.
asked him for information on the elder
oh,
side.
it was him you were calling?
Yeah. We may not want to tip him off that we're going around him to get that information.
I mean, I'm only 2 ranks under him. I can probably finagle my way to the cells without calling him.
That's the question that I'm asking.
I like it, Daniel. Let's do it.
It might be the only way you're going to talk to him.
Yeah, we'll bypass the Colonel.
Okay.
He's going to be so happy about that.
He's already a pissed individual.
Hopefully he finds out after you're no longer on base.
I gotta say, Cody, your description of this game as a chess match is making me enjoy it more. Like placing the pieces. I don't know. I was just it clicked. That made it click for me.
Yeah, no, I think that that's what it is. This is a game of spycraft. So it's what you want to do and what else is going on. Because see, the thing is that maybe you've realized or not realized, pieces are moving that you're not aware of.
Oh, I've realized there was a bridge blown up. So
Correct. Does that have fuck all to do with anything, or is that information?
it's gonna make
Misinformation.
shit's gonna get harder. Well, just
Depends
about,
on who blew it up.
yeah, right.
Because was it
here's,
ISIS, or was it ISIL trying to slow down progression?
No, I think you said
into
it was the U.S. military that blew it up, right?
I believe it was the coalition. I'd have to go back and
Coalition,
look
yeah,
at
yeah.
it.
You didn't actually describe it. Who did it? You just said it blew up and it was on a major supply line.
Correct.
But I assume it's a major supply line into Mosul, so for ISIL.
Correct.
Yeah. So I'd say that brings up an important thought. Shit's gonna just get hotter in Mosul. Do we need to move up our timetable of getting into Mosul, or are we just letting that ship sail?
Our primary objective in Mosul was to get to victims of these attacks.
Yeah.
With all the refugees coming out, that possibly has been moved. So
that's
Oh
a
yeah,
good
because
point.
she was going to talk to.
that was my 2 options: Sloan or refugees. Yeah.
Okay. Hasim meets up with Landry.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
They have 8 characters. What happens if one dies?
No, this is good. I mean, because they're part of the coalition forces.
Yeah.
I failed my humans. It's fine,
Mr. Landry,
brother. Hello.
would you like to go meet some of my brothers in arms?
Be honored.
You were bringing a friend?
They've entrusted me with the task, which
Of course.
I'm honored by.
You're a respectable man.
Do you mind leaving that sad phone in the trailer?
Of course. Please, if you follow me. He takes you out to a car.
You wearing your plates?
Yeah, of course I'm wearing my plates.
They're gonna be real helpful when they cut your head off.
Yeah, this is gonna be bad.
Fucking religious police moles.
For the audience, I have a feeling that Grady is texting Spencer what actually happens to him.
Either that, or it's going to be the a link to a video that's been curated by DeBeek beheading an infidel.
Let's actually be smart about this and have like before I step into the car and before I move forward, like legitimately,
I'm gonna rig a drop dead switch that you just hold on to.
Well, no, but legitimately, so you guys know where my dead body is, like, but so let's talk about plans before we go. So, just in case, I have all the just in case this
The
is legit.
Leroy Jenkins is now backing up his plan when it's his character.
Yeah, this is my blood.
Leroy, wait a
This is
minute.
my blood. So I have my list of if it turns out to be good, what I'm going to ask. So I'm fine there. Backup plans. I think it wouldn't be hard for me to have a GPS tracker.
For us to also know who it was you were speaking
If you're
with.
taking one of the sat phones, you already got one.
Yeah.
Do we have anybody who's not actively
Thus
doing
far,
something?
just to be an asshole, I am presuming if the sat phones are encrypted, which is what you were hoping for originally, they are hardlined into your trailer.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I'm not considering the sat phones mobile phones. You can have mobile encrypted phones. I'm not giving them to you automatically.
Why would we get 4 phones that are hardlined to the same location?
Because
That's a good point.
because it's a mobile ops center.
They
The
wouldn't be
idea is that you're just-
hardline, but they would be running through encryption on a firewall being hosted at the base. So
So
if we leave the base, they are no longer encrypted. Therefore, they are prohibited from leaving base.
Daniel makes a good technology roll. I would allow you to take unencrypted phones off the base.
that's perfectly fine. They don't need to be encrypted.
No.
We need access from outside.
The CIA is definitely not.
I don't
on
think it
your
would be
ass.
that hard for you guys to know my location and hear what's going on. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not that deep.
I would totally think that the crypto analyst who has
Yes.
skill in microelectronics.
And me also having a backup plan like a bomb vest would be fantastic.
2 plates. 2 plates.
Is Captain Dan doing
Just
anything?
keep putting them in the base.
He was just walking around the base trying to categorize what was going on.
Okay.
Why?
I was going to say you could
Tail
have
him.
eyes on him. Yeah.
Tail him.
So any other backup ideas? I mean, legitimately, you joke, but
What's your character? Let me see a sheet.
yeah. You're just gonna analyze if you care or not, or
Are you worth keeping around?
Are you a special agent with the FBI?
yeah.
Yeah.
You have no jurisdiction here. Fuck him.
You should re-explain that important information that you said that nobody heard.
Did you realize that Major Mary Olson is one of your bonds?
Ooh, hey, you got a lot of bonds between each other that you haven't paid attention to yet.
Girl.
Yeah. Kazim is actually one of Hastings' bonds.
Yep. Very interesting.
Warner is a medic, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
Captain Dan and Warner's one of his bonds.
Okay.
He's one of Captain Dan's bonds. Al Rabini's just family, so you know.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be hard for you to track him,
Track
bug
him
him,
some way, yeah.
put a wire on him.
Yeah.
Yep.
We want to know who your contact was on base. 1.
Yeah.
And 2, we want to track you.
Yep.
And 3, I don't trust you not to blow yourself up on accident.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I just
If you had a
I was
demolition score of your own,
90%
maybe.
joking with the suicide vest. 90% joking. If you would have been like, yeah, I'll do it, I've been like,
65%.
yeah, you're right.
That's
You're not, yeah, you.
I've got a pretty decent human score in reality, bud. You're full of shit.
You can give him a switch and a life preserver.
Yeah.
Just tell him.
Just bluff him out.
It's full of TNT. It just looks like you're wearing a regular life preserver. I'm going to put this little tinfoil hat on your head. All right?
I love the idea of him walking in wearing a life preserver in the middle of the fucking desert.
I'm just waiting for like 10 years from now when we see Spencer walking through the circle, walking on the circle with a life preserver on.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
Oh man, that's
I'm
awesome.
playing a character.
It's part of the bit.
Spencer, only 100 people download this show. They don't pay attention. They don't know the bit.
Katie knows the bit.
Oh, Katie knows the bit.
Trying to talk him down before he gets shot.
Yeah. Oh.
So, are we getting Landry shot then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Totally.
As long as we're all agreed.
Yeah, we've decided we're going to give him a fake dead man switch and put a life preserver on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will totally work. He's like clicking the button.
That's not how dead
No,
man
all he
switches
has
work.
to do is
We've
hold
had this
the-
conversation.
That doesn't mean he knows what a dead man switch is.
Oh, so he's just role playing Lucas. Got it.
Damn. Lucas catching strays all over the place. He may be on your strike team. You don't know.
Yeah.
Landry gets in a car with a few
I vote we
other
get to pick who's on our strike team.
Yes.
How long of a drive would make you uncomfortable, Spencer?
Just about a mile and a half past the city limits of Mosul.
Yeah. No. Seriously. No. Honestly.
Why are we going towards
I
Mosul?
think your point is taken. It's more about where we're going and proximity to where
You began heading north out of Kirkuk.
That's towards Mosul.
Am I being tailed?
No. I mean,
What did we decide you were doing? Are you following me?
oh, interesting. Are you?
It depends on how much, like, if Captain Dan can follow. I don't know. We didn't make that decision as a group.
I thought you were tracking him. That was,
No, Al Rabini's tracking it
Al Rabini.
electronically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how many people am I with? What kind of vehicle am I in?
Somebody's driving. You've gotten in the back of a... It's probably not a car, but it's probably like an SUV. You've gotten in the back with...
It's a Toyota Land Cruiser.
Ish, yeah. With Hasim, your contact.
Did they throw a hood over his head?
They did not.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. We're playing.
They don't plan on letting you live.
Yeah, they don't. They don't care if you see where you're going.
You haven't paid enough attention to the real world, Spencer.
You begin driving straight north out of Kirkuk.
Yeah. All right. It's fine.
So
We're
dead.
That ain't the way to have fun, son. That ain't the way to have fun, son.
Our title track, Mama Told Me Not to Come, composed by friend of the podcast Ian Shannon, with additional vocals by Lucas Patterson and Cody Grady. You can find more of Ian's work at sleepfortheweary.com. Like what you heard? Check out more episodes online at rancorsbrothel.com, YouTube, or anywhere you can download podcasts. Enjoy talking nerdy? Follow the podcast with other listeners on the Fans of the Rancors Brothel Facebook page. Most of all, keep circulating the tapes. Much love, everybody.
It is, I don't wanna see. Mama told me